Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to look at how to do a deploy with Consul. I'm going to assume that you've already gone through this screencast and you have a production server running with your copy of Consul. That's all this part here, and in this screencast we're going to look at deploys with Capistrano, making a change in your code and deploying it to your server. So the first thing that we need is a fork in GitHub to be able to push those changes and deploy them later. So to do that, we go to the main repo and we click on fork. I'm going to use my personal account here. Fork in Consul, fantastic. Okay. Now we're going to download this fork to our local machine. So I'm going to go to my terminal, any folder, and I'm going to execute this command, git clone, and my repo URL. Now it's downloading all my code. Fantastic. Next, I want to set it up locally. I want to be able to run Consul in my local machine. These are these development instructions from the main repository, and it's just these commands. So I'm just going to copy them, and then I'm going to run the Rails server to be able to run it locally. This is going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the screencast. Okay, so these basic commands to run the app locally are finished, and now we should be able to go to our local host port 3000 and see our local copy of Consul running. Next, we want to run the installer again, and commenting this line, Capistrano. So we go to our installer. I have two terminals here, one for my fork and one for the installer. And I have it open here, installer. And we want to uncomment this line, Capistrano, comment it, save the file, and we run the playbook again. We put our sudo password for our local machine. We wait for the playbook to do its thing. I'm going to pause it again and wait till the installer is done. Fantastic, the installer has finished. You should have seen a bunch of commands, including things related to Capistrano. Okay. Now that's all we needed to do with the installer. Now we just gotta do a few more things in our fork. We need to download some changes related to Capistrano. Just execute these commands in your forks folder. Copy these commands. I go to my fork here. I'm going to open a new tab. This is my fork here, and I'm going to download these changes, which are from a Capistrano branch, and I'm going to push them to my master branch of my fork. This pushed some changes. You can verify it here. This is the last commit I was showing before, and now you'll see some other commits, 6 new commits. Okay, and now we need to tell Capistrano some information about our server, the IP address and other little things. So we execute this command. Okay, and now we're gonna update some files in that, some values in that file. So we open our fork. This is our fork. We want to change this file, deploy secrets. This is in config, deploy secrets. Here you have space for your other environments. We're going to look at the production environment. And you want to change this deploy to, which is going to be this path. This is where your application is going to be deployed. So deploy to, home deploy console. Your server is going to be your remote IP address. My IP address. This can be a number or a string. Let's make it a string to make it pretty and consistent. We don't need a second server, so we can remove this line. Your DB server is going to be localhost because we only have one server with everything. So here, localhost. Your user is fine with deploy, and the server name is also your IP address. One day will be your full domain name, but for now it's just the IP address. So it's IP address in the server name. And your full app name, console is fine. We save this file. And now we need to tell him about your fork, the URL of your fork. So we go to the deploy.rb, another file in your fork. So config deploy.rb. I want to change this repo URL. Instead of console, which is the main repository, we want to use your fork. So that is this here. This is my fork, Library 2000. So I want to put that here. Okay, we save this file. Fantastic. Now we're going to make a change here in our local host, and then we're going to deploy it. So let's make a change here. I'm just going to add some text here. So I go to my fork. This is going to be in the application HTML. This is application HTML. App use layouts application, and I want to change a file. This file layouts header. And I'm going to add here a span. Hello Capistrano. Okay. I save this file. I refresh my local host. And here I see hello Capistrano. Okay. So we've made our change, and now we're going to push it to our fork with these commands. Okay. To my fork, type commands, and I push them to my fork in GitHub. So now you should see that commit in your fork. This was the last commit. If we refresh, we should see that new commit. It just adds a text here. Okay. Okay. And now we can go ahead and try to deploy. Production deploy. So this is the actual command that makes the deploy to your server. It's gonna download the code from your fork. It's gonna create a bunch of files, folders, compress the JavaScripts, images, do a bunch of nice things for you. I'm just going to restart the servers. Almost done. Very well. Okay. So now we will go back to our remote server and we refresh. We should see hello Capistrano. Okay, so that is how to set up your Capistrano to do deploys with console. If you have any issues, please create an issue here, new issue, or give us a shout out in the chat room or in the community. Thank you.